Welcome back to the Ambition Over Fear platform, the place where you go to really understand how to access the powerful parts of yourself that can open up so much potential within your life so you can move towards a life that you desire. Life is a very interesting dynamic of give and take, destruction, construction, and growth. And the one thing I want to talk about today is the importance of realizing that you are an intergalactic soul having a human experience. One of the main reasons why the entire world is coming into a new awareness, and you see people everywhere talking about spiritual awakenings and talking about how they're ascending and realizing new things and being drawn into tarot and magic and spell work and Reiki healing and yoga. All of these things are really allowing you to move towards a new understanding of life. A realization that you are not just a body, and you are truly a soul that is projecting its consciousness into a human body, so your soul can have an experience on Earth as a human. Now, when we first understand and we hear the words spiritual awakening and ascension, we have to make sure to understand the parts of our past that may be interfering with our future. So when you're growing up, if you have been around religion or a society that has talked about spirituality in a negative and oppressive manner, what this could do is it could plant subconscious seeds of resistance when you're trying to tap into spirit. See, what I'm talking about right now is you realizing that every single thing around you is made up of energy, and energy is living consciousness. And every single thing around you and every single thing in the universe on different planets in different dimensions are all connected through this conscious energy. And the closest thing you can tap into to get close to that universal feeling and that electricity, the one thing you can tap into that opens the door into you going into that entire realm is really coming close and having a relationship with your soul, your higher self, the part of you that is invincible, the part within your system that knows everything, that is so powerful that if you just let go of your ego, your body, and your mind for a second, you could really tap into an everlasting spring of power, an ocean of beautiful realizations. It really is about you coming into a position in yourself where you realize that you want to have a future that you can look forward to. What is life if we cannot build and create? If we do not look forward to our future, then there really is very little motivation in our life to actually continue and prosper and push forward. We are creatures of desire. We are creators. This entire universe, all it does consistently is expand. And as the universe expands, one thing comes to our mind. How do we expand? In what ways are you wanting to expand, but you just might not know how to get there? And that's why I'm here today. For you to understand that this life you're living in right now is basically a living testament to the fact that your soul is a creator, and you are the creator within your own life. And once you tap into your soul and you embody that energy of the creator you are, the God you are, the alien you are, the angel you are, you now stop looking at everything with this level of fear. You stop feeling as if you have to put yourself in a box, because you realize that there are aliens, there are angels, there are beings on different planets that have an empowering mission and some have a disempowering mission, similar to humans. So the goal here is to truly connect yourself to that truth, which is you are everything and everything is connected. And once you tap into your soul, once you get closer to that feeling inside of you, and you'll know when you're close to that feeling because you'll get a sense of peace, power, and almost like an out-of-world feeling. And when you're able to live life from the position of your higher self and your soul, now life is no longer happening to you. You're creating your life. You're deciding what energy is in your field so you can experience a different type of matter manifest around you. So that's what this whole video is about, and that's really what is the motivation behind my platform, is putting people into the creator position, allowing somebody and yourself to really embody your soul and your higher self to a point where you unlock magical abilities and powers which you can then use in this life, in this 3D experience, to alter reality and bend and create reality depending on how you want to experience it. So, as always, I break down everything into steps because I do believe that the most complicated schools of thought can be easily absorbed if you use the right language. So step one initially is understanding that you're more than a body. And this can sometimes come from a level of derealization, dissociation from your body, from your mind, and from who you are. If you've ever experienced a time in your life where you feel lost, where you've gone through an amount of disturbing mental health, which then can lead to pain and trauma, and that feeling gets so intense that you literally feel as if you're not in your body. You literally feel as if you're not in your right mind and you don't know who you are. As strange as this sounds, that is the beginning of the journey into you awakening to your soul's power, into you understanding that by you tapping into your soul while in your body, it gives you an understanding that you truly are your soul's consciousness. And with your soul's consciousness, you can travel and be in places that are not your body. And it's not that scary. A lot of people who, have experience with people telling them what astral traveling is about. I've had a lot of people give me a very disempowering, fearful perspective on it, saying that you leave your body and, if you do it the wrong way, then you'll never come back in your body. None of that is true. All that is just fear because that person may not know how to actually trust their soul and their heart when they're traveling the universe and within their consciousness going into different places that is not their body. So I want you to imagine that for a second, that your consciousness is really emerging from your soul. Okay? Now over here, you have your body, your human life. And then around your body and your human life is all of the experiences and situations that occur within your life that may involve other people. Then around that you have nature, different parts of earth, and then as you keep circling outwards, you'll realize that now you have a resonance of tapping into the energy of different things that are outside of your body. Then if you allow yourself and if you trust in your heart, in your soul, and you trust that little voice in your head, and instead of you getting mad at the pain for making you so disoriented, for a moment you understand, maybe this is happening for a reason. Maybe I created the pain so I can literally have a reason to separate from my ego and my body and this third dimensional reality. And that's where most people stop, is they just feel like everything they're going through, all the trauma and negative experiences are just there because that's life and they're a victim. But those things are really portals into a new you. Whenever something comes up in our world, the origin is what is going on in our subconscious mind. Our internal world creates the external world. So whenever something disempowering happens in our external world, instead of actually feeling as if we are in the wrong for going through that disempowering experience, take a moment to understand why your soul has created that disempowering experience. What is that experience here for? And what can you learn from it? The only way to grow is to improve upon the parts of the old you that are not working. If you would like to move into a new life, then generally you have to move into embodying a new personality, a new you, a new version of yourself. But the only way to actually create a new you is to go to the old you and heal the parts of yourself that are preventing you from getting the life that you actually desire. So initially it's a good thing when you are in chaos. It may not feel like it, but that chaos, that trauma, that disturbance, your soul has created that because the only way for you as a soul in a body, the only way for you to actually come to a new understanding that there is more to life, there is more to this universe than what you can experience with your five senses. And sometimes the only way for one to come to that conclusion is if they're forced to come to that conclusion, because there is no other way, there is no other thought to have. And that is why a lot of souls that are projecting themselves into a body, which is you, that may be why you are creating disempowering experiences, because your soul knows that is the only way for you to actually come to a certain state of mind. So initially that's step one. Now step two is, once you realize that you are a soul projecting its consciousness into a body, you then realize that your mind is simply a tool that your soul is using to navigate this world. Your ego is simply a collection of thoughts and emotions that create an identity of how you view yourself and the universe around you and the world around you. And your body is a way for your soul to take form. It's almost as if your soul is projecting itself into a virtual reality, which is Earth. And in order for your soul to translate its energy into the energy of wherever it needs to reincarnate, and remember, many souls reincarnate on Earth, but many souls, if they allow themselves to come to that awareness, and if one allows themselves to actually realize that there is more than this Earth, And if you feel safe enough to embody higher dimensions of energy, then your soul actually evolves into a different class. So many souls actually reincarnate on different planets that exist on different dimensions as different beings. I have. So what I'm trying to say is, the moment you realize that every single reincarnation that your soul has on this planet or on other planets in different dimensions, in order for your soul to actually take form in that reincarnation, then that planet on that dimension has to have a unique matrix, which is kind of a computer program. So once you realize that your body and your soul are really working together, so your soul can have an experience as a human, then you begin to realize that there is more than one life that you have. You do not just live and die on earth and go to heaven or hell. You have had many lives on this planet, and you have embodied many different forms of consciousness. At that moment, you realize that, okay, there's more. And in reality, you are the entire universe. What your soul is an individualistic expression of the universe. The universe is one thing. That's why you hear the saying, we are all one, everything is connected. But in order for the universe to have expansion and unique creativity, the universe broke itself down into souls. Now, every soul holds the entire power of the universe, but every soul is individualistic. It is its own being. And your soul is simply deciding what parts of the universe is it identifying with. But once you realize that, you then realize that your soul is just a window into the entire universe. So you are the entire universe. So instead of looking at a planet or an alien species or an animal or a color as if it's something outside of you, as if it's something separate from you, the best thing you can do is realize that everything is energy and everything communicates with a universal consciousness. So, in turn, you are everything. Any single thing you think about is basically you placing your consciousness into that thing and identifying as it. And the best way for you to come into your power as a healer, as a shaman, as a light worker, magician, alchemist, is you realizing that the motivation behind you coming to my videos or any conscious galactic teacher is for you to realize that all the power you're looking for is within you, and every single thing you see is you. Every single thing you see, the people, the colors, the experiences, the trauma, is just a projection of what is going on inside of you. Your internal world creates the external world. And the only way you're able to actually have a thought about something is if you and that thing were made up of the same materials. It's almost understanding like the analogy of a phone. If you have a phone and you're calling somebody who has a phone, then how are you two able to actually hear each other and speak to each other? And the answer is because you're both connected to and connected from the same medium of connection, which is energy. So every single thing is energy, and once you realize that you're also energy, you can let go of who you are for a moment in meditation, who you think you are, who you've created yourself to be, the program of thoughts and emotions that is the ego, your body, your mind, and even let go of that and let go of earth, and then allow your imagination to take you wherever it needs to be. And that is how you embody the entire universe. Being psychic is simply understanding that you are somebody on some level because you brought them in and they're just a projection of your own consciousness. So you're tapping into yourself in a different form. You manipulating the quantum field and you using your thoughts and emotions to change what happens to you tomorrow. You going into a different dimension and moving things around and doing spell work and magic. It's simply you realizing, okay, I'm going to take my consciousness and for a moment, I'm going to realize that I am the field, that I am this thing that I'm trying to manifest, that I am the cells of my body that I'm trying to heal. And then you embody what you would like to alter or create. And then you just change yourself, because in that moment, yourself is whatever part of the universe you're identifying with. Now, step 3 initially is, once you leave the matrix, the whole reason that happens is not just so you can realize that you're not just a body. The reason you're waking up, and we have to talk about this because culture and society and spiritual communities have used this word waking up in such a repetitive fashion that it is becoming saturated. So let me tell you what really is waking up. You are not dissociating from your mind or reality or your body when you're going through distress or mental health issues. You're actually returning home into your soul. Your soul is who you are. Your soul is having a reincarnation as a human. So when you were born, you went through a veil of forgetfulness. And you're actually dissociating from your soul by you thinking that you're just a human that is bound by the laws of physics and chemistry. So you wake up so you can realize that you are the creator of the matrix and you are the thing that is basically living through the matrix. That is why you wake up. That is the purpose of a spiritual awakening and ascension in a human body. That is one main way to look at it, is you're living a life and you're trying the best you can to work with the circumstances that have been presented to you. And you may feel limited. Now you realize that, oh, I'm a soul that is having a human reincarnation, and my soul can send energy into my human body to create any life that I want. Now you are no longer bound by your traumas. You're no longer bound and restricted by your past, because you realize that everything is just a manifestation of energy. Therefore, in order for you to manifest something in this 3D experience, you have to manifest that creation from a higher dimension, which is your soul. You have to go above the chessboard to move the chess pieces around. So when you come back into the matrix, you then can take all that new awareness of how you're going to then shift your reality. Decide, now that you know Earth is a virtual reality, you can decide what you experience. You can decide what life you want with no limitations, no judgment. What do you want? Write down the 5 areas of life that are the most important to you. And if anything was possible, and there's no such thing as impossible, write down what you would like to see happen in every area of life. Create that story. Create that version of yourself and the person that exists in a parallel reality, because there are infinite amounts of yous that are living every life that you may have thought or wasn't thought possible. That version of you is just existing in a parallel reality, which is a horizontal shifting of your soul in this human experience. Decide what you want to experience in the matrix, and decide that you in this moment are the creator, and you can shift and heal and manipulate any form of energy you want from the position of being in your soul, which is basically allowing yourself to be the observer, allowing yourself to realize that you are the entire universe. So if you are the entire universe, then watch your life as if you're watching a movie, and just change the next episode and assume that reality is not that solid, and observe life as if you're watching this movie you're creating, and tap into that artistic side of you that just wants to realize that you're more powerful than you are. Now, step 4 is when you come back down into your body, you're going to have to understand that you will face your shadow work. You will experience a level of old emotions and thoughts that come up, and because you went through a spiritual awakening, and because you did all that practice into reaching the higher realms through meditation, yoga, plant medicine, you may think that your frequency is too high to focus or resonate with disempowering emotions and thoughts. That is your human self that needs healing. Heal whatever comes up. Don't shoot down negativity. Don't shoot down it, because it is your portal into you removing the old parts of you that need to go, so you can bring in new parts of you that better align with the future you're creating. Okay? Anyway, beautiful alchemists, I want to say thank you for tuning in. I always appreciate your conversation, your input, and hope you have an amazing day. And check the details of this video on YouTube, and I have a book coming out, and I would love for you to immerse yourself within my teachings. I would love for you to understand that me and you are the same. You can only bring something in your consciousness if you're energetically vibrating at that same frequency. Everything you experience on any level, on some level, is part of your energetic system. So you bringing me in means that I'm showing you your potential. I'm showing you that all this is very easy if you let it be. Okay? I'll talk to you guys soon. Have an amazing